Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel, History Chronicles. In the summer of 1789, France was on the brink of profound change. The air was thick with anticipation and uncertainty as the Estates General convened for the first time in over a century. This was not just a political assembly. It was a stage set for a showdown between the old regime and a new order waiting to be born. Louis XVI, the King of France, faced a kingdom in crisis. The economy was in shambles, the people were restless, and the nobility's privileges were being increasingly questioned. To address these issues, Louis XVI had summoned the Estates General, a traditional assembly representing the three estates: the clergy, the nobility, and the common people. Imagine being one of the delegates representing the third estate. You are a member of the bourgeoisie, or a local notary, having traveled from your village to the grand halls of Versailles. The grandeur of the palace contrasts sharply with the dire conditions you've left behind. The common people are suffering, and you're here to demand change. As you take your seat among the other delegates, you're acutely aware of the gravity of the moment. The Estates General is meant to be a forum for addressing grievances and proposing reforms. However, from the outset, it's clear that the process is deeply flawed. The first estate, clergy, and the second estate, nobility, hold considerable power and are unlikely to support substantial changes that would undermine their own privileges. Louis XVI's approach is cautious. He hopes that by convening the Estates General, he might appease the growing unrest without making significant concessions. But the delegates of the Third Estate, representing the common people, are not here merely to play a role in a show. They have come with a clear mandate: to push for reforms that reflect the needs and aspirations of the majority. Tensions quickly rise as the delegates debate how the assembly should proceed. The Third Estate demands that all votes be conducted by head, not by estate. This would allow their greater numbers to have a real impact on decisions. The clergy and nobility resist, preferring to keep the voting system that favors their own interests. Amidst this standoff, an extraordinary event occurs: the tennis court oath. On June 20th, 1789, after being locked out of their meeting hall, the representatives of the Third Estate gather in a nearby indoor tennis court. Here, they take a historic oath, pledging not to disband until they have drafted a new constitution for France. Imagine the scene: a group of determined men standing together in a cramped, echoing space, their voices filled with resolve. They vow to fight for a constitution that will represent the will of the people and reshape the governance of France. This act of defiance marks a dramatic shift from seeking reform to actively pursuing revolutionary change. The tennis court oath is more than just a symbolic gesture. It's a declaration of the Third Estate's intent to challenge the status quo. It embodies their belief that true change requires more than just dialogue. It requires action. This pivotal moment sets the stage for the dramatic events that will follow. As word of the tennis court oath spreads, it galvanizes support among the common people. The streets of Paris buzz with news of the delegates' commitment to a new France. The old regime, unprepared for such determined resistance, begins to feel the pressure. In the coming days, the Third Estate will formally declare itself the National Assembly, asserting its authority and beginning the process of drafting a new constitution. This act of political boldness will lead to further confrontations with the king and the other estates, as well as the eventual storming of the Bastille, a key moment in the unfolding revolution. In our next episode, we will delve into this defining event, exploring how the storming of the Bastille became a powerful symbol of the revolution and a catalyst for further change. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the French Revolution. Stay tuned for the next episode of History Chronicles. See you next time.